So, you have a movie for me?
Yes, sir, I do. I was thinking we can make a Star Trek movie.
Oh, interesting. Is it like a reboot or a sequel or a prequel?
Yes.
I love it. So what happens in this thing?
Well, at the start of the movie, we're gonna see some spaceships being attacked, right?
Okay.
And we're gonna meet this guy, George Kirk, whose wife is about to give birth to a little baby James.
Oh, and what's this George Kirk guy like? Like, who should we cast?
I don't know why, but I'm imagining somebody that would look really good holding like a big magical hammer.
That's extremely specific. I'll see what I can do.
So anyway, these good guy ships are being attacked by this bad guy Nero, and George's ship loses its autopilot.
Oh no.
Yeah, so he has to stay on board and pilot the thing. There's no other way.
Yeah, for sure. So what does he do?
Well, he programs the ship onto a collision course with the bad guys, and then he kind of sits back in his chair.
Wait, he programs it on a collision course and then he's able to sit back and not do anything?
That's right, he sits down to let it happen.
That kind of sounds like autopilot. He should probably leave.
Oh, whoops.
Whoopsie.
Anyway, so he dies.
Oh, he does. Okay.
Yeah, so then a couple years later, we're gonna meet a young James Kirk.
Oh, and what's he up to?
Well, he steals his stepdad's car and drives it into a canyon, but jumps out at the last second and hangs on from a cliff.
Very cool. So what does the scene have to do with everything?
Absolutely nothing, but it's gonna look cool in the trailer and let people know it's an origin movie.
Well, okay then.
Then we're gonna meet a young Spock, and he has some bullies surrounding him.
Oh, space bullies.
Yeah, and he's gonna be like, this is your 35th attempt to get an emotional response from me.
Very stoic.
But then they make fun of the fact that he has a human mother, and he just loses it.
They bullied him 35 times and never tried a yo mama joke?
That's right.
Oh, uncreative space bullies are tight.
So anyway, now that we've established that both main characters were once children, we can move on.
Yeah, great. I guess it'll be helpful moving forward to know that these were once children and they weren't born fully grown men.
For sure. So then adult Kirk gets into a bar fight with some Starfleet guys, right?
Okay.
And then this Captain Pike dude is like, I knew your dad. You should enlist in Starfleet, you violent drunk. Let's do this thing.
So what does Kirk do?
Well, he takes a look at the Enterprise, which it just so happens is being built like in his backyard, and that seems to convince him to enlist. He gets on the ship the next morning.
He just gets on board. There's no paperwork or screening or anything?
Apparently not. You just get on the ship and you're in.
Well, okay then.
So a couple years later, Kirk is at the academy, right? And he has to pass this test called the Kobayashi Maru, which is just like impossible to beat.
Oh, sounds like it's gonna be impossible to beat.
Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Oh, really?
Yeah, see, he just modifies the test so that he can win, but then he gets in trouble for doing that.
That makes sense. It doesn't sound like it's allowed.
Yeah, so he has to go to like this hearing thing, and then it turns out that Spock is the one who designed the test so people can experience fear.
Why would anyone experience fear in a test they know is impossible to beat?
I don't know.
Fair enough.
But then before anything too serious can happen to Kirk, there's like a big emergency and everybody has to rush to go help.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and Kirk's friend Bones manages to sneak him onto the Enterprise, right? So he's like, wait, we're headed towards a big lightning storm. The last time that happened was that big famous event where my dad died.
Nobody made that connection?
Nobody made that connection, so then it turns out he was right.
Right.
So Captain Pike is like, well, I gotta go on this enemy ship now, so Spock, you're captain, and Kirk, you're first officer.
Even though he wasn't even supposed to be there?
Even though he wasn't even supposed to be there, because he was right about a thing, so he's qualified now.
Wow, 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 wow.
Anyway, so that bad guy Nero and his Romulan dudes are digging this big drill into the planet Vulcan, right?
Oh, why are they doing that?
Well, because they want to drop this red matter stuff into the planet's core, because that could, like, cause a black hole.
Wouldn't a black hole be just as effective on the surface of a planet?
Yeah, maybe, but this way the good guy characters have some time to do some heroic stuff.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So they gotta take down this drill, because I decided, right?
Oh, so they shoot it down?
No, they can't do that.
How come?
Because that's not exciting enough.
Fair enough.
You know, they gotta parachute down and fight some dudes.
Much more exciting, yeah.
But even though they stop the drill, the bad guys drop some red matter anyway, and they destroy Vulcan and kill Spock's mom.
Oh no.
Then Spock and Kirk get into this big argument, so Spock has to deal with them.
So he like puts him in a cell for insubordination?
No, he puts him in a space pod and shoots him off onto a dangerous ice planet.
Oh my god, why would he do that?
Because I need him to do that for the movie.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So Kirk immediately gets attacked by this big monster thing, and so he runs into a cave, and that's where he meets an old Spock that traveled back in time.
What?
Pretty cool, right?
On the surface of an entire planet, Kirk just happens to walk into the cave where a time-traveling Spock is hanging out?
That's what we're going with.
That works for me.
And so time travel Spock drops a bunch of exposition on him. He's like, yeah, I tried to save Nero's planet in the future with some red matter, but then it didn't work and he got mad and he got sent back in time and so did I, but there was a difference of like 25 years for some reason, and so he's all mad and he wants to blow up a bunch of planets.
So Nero got sent back in time on what just happened to be Kirk's birthday?
That's right.
And he got sent back to before his planet was ever destroyed.
That's right.
And then he just hangs out for like 25 years.
Yeah,
And if at any moment in those 25 years he happened to find out what the date was, there would be no conflict in the movie whatsoever?
Yeah, pretty much. If Nero found out what year it was, he could go stop the thing that he's mad about happening, because it hasn't happened yet.
Well, maybe on the DVD we can have an alternate ending where Nero just looks at a calendar and solves everything.
Maybe.
So what else happens?
Well, Spock takes Kirk to this Federation outpost just a little walk from his cave.
Spock's been hanging out within walking distance of an outpost and he didn't warn anyone about the Romulans?
Right, because he's not the main character, so he can't go to places unless he's with the main character.
That makes sense.
So it turns out there's this dude Scotty who works there, and in the future he figures out how to do transwarp beaming.
Okay.
And so old Spock is like, well, here's your equation for that, and then he beams him and Kirk onto the Enterprise.
Wow, well thank God everything Kirk needed was within walking distance of the spot he was shot on a random ice planet.
Yeah, it all worked out extremely well.
So then what happens?
Well, Kirk goes to see Spock like, your mom is dead, aren't you angry? And Spock is like, I am angry actually, and so he has to step down as captain.
Very mean.
So then Kirk becomes captain and they go defeat Nero with some red matter and a black hole and space things.
Wait, so do black holes destroy things or send them back in time?
They do whatever, literally anything I want.
Well, okay then.
And so then there's this fun little ceremony where they make Kirk the actual captain of the Enterprise for good.
Feels like he didn't really earn that. He wasn't even out of the academy.
Well, actually, he was brave for a day, and that's apparently all it takes.
Oh, that's how that works. Okay.
So what do you think?
Well, I mean, it sounds like a fun thrill ride of a movie.
Yeah, you think so?
And I mean, if this kind of action-packed sci-fi modern revival thing works out, who knows what kind of changes that could lead to in the industry. Hey guys, it's Ryan here. Hope you like that pitch meeting. There are over 100 episodes of pitch meeting on the channel that you could check out. I also have some other videos on there, so click around. Also, let me know in the comment section what other movies you'd like to see these pitches for. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, the bell button, the button, I don't know. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.